Venue, please make sure your mic is off if it isn't. Coming to a comfortable seated position, relax shoulders. Start to follow breath. Inhale deeply. Exhaling completely. Taking a moment to soften through hips, chest, and shoulders. So if you like, adding a little bit of movement here to the torso, just to kind of become aware of where your body is in space. And then once you've settled in, just go ahead and follow the deep breathing. So you can start by maybe doing a little bit of ujjayi breath. The inhale, deep, long, extended, filling the body. The exhale, slow, controlled, gentle, emptying the body. Continuing on like this, each breath draws us a little more into our own space here, into our own sense of being, our awareness of being. Maybe you take a swallow, let the tongue go limp into the back of the throat, and bring the tip of the tongue to the roof of the mouth. As you continue the depth and length of breath. Become aware of any distractions within you, your thoughts, mental formations, emotions, feelings, even bodily sensations can be distracting. We're not trying to push away anything or block anything out or force anything to stop. We're just simply becoming aware of the distraction, aware of the thought or aware of the feeling. With the next exhale, we'll bring the chin down towards chest. And we'll start with a little neck stretch here. So bringing hands behind the head. Just a gentle pressure. Bringing chin a little deeper down towards chest. Let the arms kind of hang heavy. Shoulders pull away from the ears. Compression in throat. And then inhale, slowly release the pressure. Blink the eyes open. And awareness back into the space. Let's move the neck around side to side, just kind of tick-tock the head. If you find that when you bring it to one side feels pretty good, you can stay there, maybe add a little shoulder roll. Then continue to kind of just move, waking up the neck. Slowly coming back through to center when you're ready. Pull the shoulders back, fingertips behind you, lift the chest, and then just gently gaze up towards sky. Exhale, slowly coming back through to center. Hands on the knees again, round your body forward. We're just very gently beginning to add movement to the body. And then inhale, coming back to center. One more, fingertips behind, lengthen chest, look up. Opening through throat and heart. Exhale, coming back through to center, hands on the knees. Round yourself forward. Maybe tuck in a little bit more, pull the shoulders forward, fanning out through the shoulder blades. Inhale, coming back to center. Let's take right hand down to the floor, walk that right hand away. And then just keep left hand on the leg for a moment here as you rotate shoulder. Maybe even bend into that right arm. Just a little side bend here. As you feel ready, start to slide that left arm towards armpit. Notice the openness in the shoulder happens as you rotate. And then begin to extend. Don't worry about that left arm straightening. Just keep it soft. Reaching more from your shoulder than you are from your fingertips. A little more softer into that right elbow if you can. And then exhale, releasing that left arm back the way you went in, slowly coming back to center. We'll do the other side. Left arm walks away. Right hand on the thigh for now and rotate chest. Create rotation here in the torso. Soften into left elbow as you start to slide the right fingertips up towards the armpit. So right about here, you start to feel that your elbow needs to come forward. So when you're here, start to open back and then just let that right fingertips extend, softening through that right arm, creating openness in the right side body. And then as you exhale, holding a little deeper into that left elbow. Gaze up towards sky. And exhale, slowly releasing. Same way you came back in, extend the arm down. Little head tilts, chin towards right shoulder, chin towards left shoulder. You can go nice and slow here. You can speed it up a little bit more. And slowly coming back through to center. Good. If there's any other movements you'd like to add to your neck, now's a good time. Like I kind of felt like I wanted to do this side a little bit, so if you wanted to do that. All right, coming onto hands and knees. We're gonna work a little bit on hips and shoulders today. So coming onto hands and knees, pressing into hands. Take a time to really settle in to your stance. Press strong through fingers. I think I've talked about this before with you guys, but make sure that your wrists feel okay here. And I know that I've always mentioned to stack shoulders, elbows, and wrists, but this 90-degree angle of the wrist can sometimes feel like it's a lot. So if you feel like it's a lot for you, just slide your hands forward a little bit to kind of decrease or increase, I guess, that angle of wrist. So you get to decide where your hands are placed. Hips do stack over knees, so they're not going back and they're not coming forward. Fan out through shoulders, tuck tailbone under and start to ground the spine coming into cat. We're going to hold the cat here for a few breaths. Really pushing the shoulder blades away, pushing the floor away with the fingertips, pressing into the mat with the tops of your feet. Tuck your tailbone under, gaze towards your navel, chin to chest. And then slowly release. Now moving the same, but going into cow. So now the head tilts up. The tailbone lifts up away from the floor. Reach the chest, kind of in between the arms, so the shoulders go back and you look up. Holding here, pushing the floor away in the same way with strong fingers. Tops of the feet are flat on the floor. And exhale, gently coming back through to center. Sit all the way back. You can bring the toes together. Sitting all the way back into your balasana, child's pose. Forehead comes to the floor. And head relaxes. See if you can release tension here, any part of your body that might still be feeling it. Allow the breath to let you fold smoothly into the posture, letting go, releasing, surrendering to what is. Couple more breaths here. And slowly inhale, rolling yourself right back up to tabletop. I'm going to continue with a little shoulder stretch. So taking the elbows down towards the floor. Palms are about shoulder width apart as your elbows are. And you can walk your elbows forward just a little bit because we're going to try to bring our bodies in between. So get your elbows forward so you can bring your forehead to the floor in between your elbows. So this is a good place to start if the shoulders are feeling a little tight. And the triceps, maybe a little bit into the biceps even. Try to keep the tops of your feet grounded and rooted to the floor as you press your chest through. You feel good, maybe bending through the elbows and bringing your hands to prayer behind your back. Maybe I might offer you a little bit more. Kind of extending your chest towards the thighs or towards the floor. 3 more breaths here. And then exhale, slowly coming back to center. Elbows back to the floor. Inhale, lift the head. This time, see if you can extend your arms. Bring your chest down. Maybe your chin, or if not, your forehead can come to the floor. So either one is fine. Just a little deeper. We're kind of moving a little bit more into those shoulders. The elbows may touch the floor, but you want to keep the arms engaged. So really it's the fingers and the knuckles and the palms that are working to keep you elevated here. 2 more breaths. And then slowly inhale, lift up, coming back to tabletop. Take your time. Once you're back at tabletop, round through the spine again, rounding into cat. Move the weight forward and back, adding a little bit of movement to your cat. And then exhale, release. Rolling into cow once more. Shoulders back, gaze up, tailbone up. And then again, maybe a little bit of movement, rocking back and forth in your cat pose, in your cow pose, sorry. And gently coming back through to center. Tucking the toes under, pressing up to your downward facing dog. So adjust through hands and feet. Making sure that your feet are hip width apart, hands are shoulder width apart. Belly's drawn in. The chest kind of moves through that space in between your arms. So really engage into the knuckles and fingers to push your way through, reaching chest towards thighs. If you have tight hamstrings this morning, you can soften your knees. Still drawing in through navel, still pushing chest through, and still reaching tailbone up. Only when you feel ready, you can maybe start by pressing one heel down and then the other, or simply bringing both heel down towards the mat. Let the head hang here. You can add a little bit of movement to the neck by twisting or moving your head around. Yes, no, maybe. Whatever feels good here. Make sure if you do one direction, you do the other. Maybe making circles with the head. Let the neck totally hang. Nice stretch here. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Strong arms, strong shoulders, lengthen spine. Exhale. Last breath. Inhale. Gaze towards your thighs or towards the direction of your navel. Exhale. Next inhale breath, step high onto the toes, look forward between the hands. So you're kind of reaching up through the tailbone, and then step one foot, then the other. See if you can stay on your toes. Keep your hands glued. Again, one foot, then the other. Trying to stay on your toes as much as possible. Push the floor away with your arms. One foot, then the other. Stay with where you can. So if you can't go any further, stay here. Otherwise, keep stepping. One foot, then the other. They're drawing closer to each other now. Protract the shoulders. One foot, other. See if you can stay on your toes. See if you can stay the heels lifted. Last one, all the way down to the floor so the heels touch now. Press the palms down. Inhale, lift halfway. So into our Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, release. Bending into the knees. Slowly coming into Utkatasana, chair pose. Shoulders roll back, lengthen spine. Draw in through navel. Keep the body nice and extended from tailbone to top of head. And slowly come up to standing. Good. Release the arms down by your side. We're going to start with an easy back bend. So from here, walk to the top of your mat. Toes and heels come together. Arms down by your side. Take a moment, again, just like we did when we first started our practice, to settle into your space. Back shoulders. Fingertips reach down towards earth, palms facing forward. The breath is steady. Inhale deeply. Feel your feet grounded into the earth. Exhale, draw your palms together at center of heart. Inhale, lift your arms. See if you can kind of track them through your head. Release them back behind you instead of up. So we're drawing the elbows towards the sky, grounding the feet firm, pressing the hips forward, and kind of just letting the arms softly pull yourself back. You don't have to extend the arms straight. You can keep them bent and soft. Shoulders rolling back. Kind of feels like what we just did on the mat. This time, if you feel a lot of weight into your lower back, breathe your ribcage higher, press your hips a little further forward, and bring a little bit more weight to your heels. Exhale, slowly coming back through center. Draw in through navel, hands and heart. Exhale, soften through knees, forward fold, hinging from hips. Hands to the floor, head relaxing. Roll the weight forward to balls of your feet this time. So draw in again through the navel and press the ribcage towards the side. Lengthening the tailbone back, head relaxes. Inhale, lift halfway. Ardha Uttanasana, extending spine, belly drawn in. Exhale, bend your knees. Plant your hands on the floor and gently step just the right foot back. You have a big step, so almost all the way to the back of your mat. Make adjustments with your front foot and then bring right knee to the floor. Relax right toes, and we're just gonna move from leg straight to leg bends. You can use blocks underneath your hands or just on your fingertips. And we're just kind of greasing up the hip joint, seeing where it is today. A few more breaths here. So you start to feel a little bit more open. So if you can draw that left hip back deeply, press the left toes down. And then as you come forward, draw the hips forward so that that knee is coming over past your toes if you can. Lengthen forward. Keep the right bottom of the right leg nice and firm. So maybe you can start to hold the pull back a little bit as you find your stretch, and then hold the pull forward a little bit as you engage into the hip flexor and into that left hip and groin. So we're going to hold the back for the next one. Holding the back, you can walk the hands closer to your body, even up on your fingertips or on your blocks. Find the straightness of that left leg the most that you can. Sometimes this is really tough, so if you need to soften a little bit into the knee, it's okay. Start with a soft knee and begin to work yourself into a nice straight leg. Wow, I see a beautiful dragonfly came to visit me. And then exhale as you're ready, coming down. I love teaching outside. I have lots of friends coming by and visiting me as I practice. Making the practice a little bit more accessible, a little bit easier for me, because even though it's a difficult posture, I can, there's a dragonfly. And I can kind of take a little bit of a mental break. And then slowly coming forward, we're going to do the same thing here. So as you come forward, rolling forward onto that left leg. Again, you can stay on fingertips or blocks or bring palms down to the floor, pressing the hip forward. Shoulders kind of engage as you push the floor away. Whether you're on your fingertips or blocks, you can still engage into the floor with your hands. And as you press that right hip forward, feel a nice deep stretch. Don't overdo it. We're just still kind of getting ready here, so you don't need to overexert yourself. And then exhale, coming back. This time, tucking toe under, straightening right leg into our full lunge. Again, fingertips or blocks works here. You want to be a straight line from top of your head to your right heel. Keep pressing weight forward. Find your lunge here. If it's too much, right knee is welcome to stay on the floor and no big deal. And then we're going to slowly pivot right heel down to the mat. And we're going to windmill the arms up, warrior two. So as soon as I come up, I automatically kind of straighten that left leg and settle right back into it. So you're welcome to try doing that. Pressing right heel away, bringing left knee, tracking it over. So don't let that left knee come in or pop out. Track it right over that left toe. Sit down firm, body is long, rib cage is lifted Arms are extended. Exhale, pivot hands down. Rotate onto right toe, left foot steps back. High plank. Finding your high plank, drawing in through navel, fanning out through shoulders. For the first one, I'll cue knees down, chest down. So gently bring the knees down, release the feet. Elbows hug the rib cage as they go back. Chest comes to the floor. Hips stay lifted, chin down. Inhale, pull your way through. Coming into cobra. Opening heart, lifting chest. Breathing easy here. Barely using your arms here. You're just pressing into your fingers, into your palms, using your back muscles. Exhale, release. Tucking toes under. Pressing up through the knees. Back to downward facing dog. Take a moment to adjust through your feet. And use this time in your downward facing dog to reconnect with breath. So a deep inhale as you lift your tailbone. Slow, gentle exhale as you release chest towards thighs and heels towards earth. We're going to walk forward just like we did before we do the other side. So coming high onto the toes, lifting the hips, gazing forward. You want to go to the space between your hands. Gently start to walk one foot, then the other. Keeping your weight forward. Slowly keeping your hips extended. Walk yourself up towards the top of your mat. Take your time, there's no rush. So if you need a break, protract your shoulders, engage the core, and then continue on. Try to keep the heels lifted as you come forward. Continue all the way at the top of your mat. Then your heels come down to the mat and you can fold into your forward fold. Relax, settle in, no tension, roll weight forward. Inhale, lift halfway, creating space. Hi, pretty girl. Another friend came to visit. And then exhale, release. Bending through the knees, lifting chest, inhaling, hands to prayer, Utkatasana. Draw in through navel, sit strong into your heels, shoulders rolling back. Nice strong thighs, pressing down towards the earth. Keep lifting through chest, engage into core. And slowly come all the way up. Release arms down, back to our standing Samasthiti. You can close your eyes here for a moment if you like. Start to notice the imbalance between left and right sides as we've only done the left side for now. Take inventory of your body, of your breath. Going back into that same back bend. So if you like this time, you can separate your feet slightly. So you come into a little bit wider stance with your feet. Doesn't have to be much, about hip width. Hands in prayer, exhale. Inhale, arms coming up. So kind of hug your elbows to your ears. We start in this position with your hands kind of reaching back instead of up. And then from here, a little softness in your knees will get you a little bit more push forward as you start to arch back, soften through your legs, opening your heart, and then looking up. Keep kind of letting the hands feel heavy, drawing the elbows up and back. Hips move forward. Relax into the shoulders. Try not to struggle with your breath. Inhale deep. Exhale. And slowly coming back through the center. Hands in prayer. Take a moment. Draw in through navel. Slowly forward fold. Hands from the hips coming down. Take your time. Hands come to the floor. Maybe pick up your big toes. Adjust through your feet. Make sure they're hip width apart. From here, lift up halfway. And then exhale as you fold. Pull yourself through. Elbows kind of push on towards other sides of your body. Your chest moves through your arms, and the top of your head is reaching down towards the space right between your big toes. Draw in through navel and roll weight forward. Inhale. Lengthen. Exhale. Hold. One more time, inhale, lengthening, exhale, hold. And then inhale, lift halfway, creating a sense of space. Release your hands from your big toes to the floor. And just taking a moment, we're gonna step the left foot back this time. So let's put the right foot in the center, a little bit more for balance. Left leg steps all the way back. Great big huge step. Once that leg is all the way back, go ahead and bring left knee to the floor, relax left toe. Make any adjustments here necessary. You might need to walk your right foot out a little bit or adjust a little bit into that left knee, pulling it back and away. So once you're there, fingertips on the mat, and then we're gonna start to add some movement to the right side body. So again, bending into right knee, moving forward, extending into right leg, moving back. You want to do yoga? Yoga dog. So as we move forward and backwards, you're feeling into your hip. Sometimes you feel more in other places. So maybe it's just your leg that's feeling this and not your hip. So you just kind of have to take inventory of that and notice where you are today. Remember, you can always use blocks underneath your hands. And it's not just a gentle move forward and back. You really want to press back. Draw that right hip back as you point down to the toes. And when you come forward, same thing. Press forward, drawing that left hip down. So that movement creates a little different kind of connection with your body. In our mind, we have synapses, right? That create our mental patterns in the way that we think and influences our behavior. So in our bodies, it's kind of similar. We want to create different pathways for our bodies to move. And this allows us to increase our flexibility in our body awareness. It's a really nice way to kind of just start. We're going to hold the next one back. We're going to hold this one back. Remember, fingertips can stay down here or bring them closer to your body. When they come a little closer to your body, sometimes it's a little bit more accessible. You can try that. Always using fingertips or blocks if that's more up your alley today. And then making sure you're not pulling that right hip forward. So draw the right hip back, square off your hips. Even if your toes don't touch the floor, like my toes aren't touching the floor right now, but you still want to push down through your toes. Try not to flex through your foot. It's a different stretch. It's a good one, but we're going to try to do it evenly. So we're stretching back of leg and top of leg at the same time. Hold here and breathe. If you want to fold a little bit, see if you can intensify that stretch. And again, arms forward makes it a little bit different so you have that twist as well. Right hip back, pointing big toe, lengthening spine. And then exhale, coming forward. Holding the forward one now. Drawing hips forward. Tucking right knee over ankle or over toes. You can bring palms down to the floor and let left hip flexor start to open there. So again, not dumping the weight to the left side, but keeping your weight equal and balanced. Just finding your stretch. Your right armpit is kind of hugging the top of your right thigh. You can look down towards toe or look forward. Whatever feels good. Take a few breaths here. Keep pressing those hips forward. So as soon as you start to feel comfortable, like, oh yeah, I can hold this for a little bit. Forward a little bit more. Always challenging. Good. And then exhale, slowly releasing. This time tucking left toe under, straightening left leg. Take a moment, you can come to fingertips. Again, one straight line from top of your head to left heel. Always drawing in through navel, always pressing forward through left hip. If this is tough for you, remember you can always bring that left knee back down to the floor. Working on those hips. And then we're going to pivot that left heel down to the mat. So get the left heel planted on the floor. And then we're going to windmill the arms coming up. Again, I like to kind of straighten that right leg and then go ahead and sit into it. Reach up through rib cage. Relax shoulders back. Reach through fingertips. And then your gaze looks over right hand. Extending up through the torso as you sit down a little bit more into that right thigh. Make sure your right knee is tracking over your toes and not kind of pulling in towards your body or away from your body. Let's straight down over toes. You can look down. You'll be able to see your toes straight past your knee. Reach through the left arm, reach through the right arm, and then exhale, windmill everything back down. Pivot on left toes. We're gonna take this right foot back. High plank. Finding your high plank here, engaging into shoulders. You can repeat knees down, chest down, or I'll cue for chaturanga. Hugging the rib cage with your elbows. Hovering. Inhale. This time upward facing, but you can repeat cobra. Let the tops of the feet press into the floor, so that way you can lift up through heart, engaging into arms, strong fingers, gaze forward. Deep inhale. Slow exhale. If your head, neck feels good, maybe looking up, opening through heart. Chin is lifted. Gaze up and down. Exhale, slowly release. Back to your downward facing. Hold here for about 5 breaths. If you're feeling a little tired, like you need a break, you're welcome to come into balasana and rest there for a few breaths. Pop back up to downward facing when you're ready. We only have about 3 more breaths to go, so you can do it. Even if you're tired, see if you can see it through. Next exhale, release fully. And then inhale, looking forward, up onto the toes or onto the, lift the heels. And then come forward about halfway. So we're not going all the way to the top between the hands, about halfway there. Plant your feet on the floor. You can have your feet a little wider if that's more comfortable for you. It's kind of like a mock downward facing, right? The weight is primarily on the legs. Very little weight on the fingertips, but we're gonna let our whole torso fall through the body. And notice we've never stopped really working on the shoulders. We've always been engaged, drawing in through navel. Soften through your knees, release your hands, bring them behind your ankles. You wanna grab either the backs of your calves or the backs of your ankles, fingertips on the floor. And then as you have that grip, your elbows kind of move behind your legs. You're not on the outsides, but behind. Draw in through navel, soften through knees, let your head release, and then begin to straighten your legs. Little by little, feeling your stretch. And then slowly release. Round yourself up to standing. Take your time. Slow, easy, and steady. Shoulders come back. Head's the last thing to lift. Release the fingers, palms face forward. Again, re-arrive onto your feet. We're going to move into a balanced posture before we come down to the floor. So the first posture we're going to do is nut tree, like we're used to always doing. We're going to bring weight to the left leg, left hand to the waist side, so kind of right at your waist, I guess, so right by your belly button. And then take right knee up, flex through foot, and keep the heel right underneath the knee. So if you're coming, if I show you sideways, the heel is underneath the knee, not tucked underneath the thigh. So keep that knee forward, it'll come into play in a little bit. So as you keep that right knee elevated, about the height of your hip, bring right hand to that thigh, find your sense of balance. If you feel like you're gonna fall out of the posture, if you're gonna fall left or right, reach higher through top of your head. Plant that left foot firmer into the floor. Now with that right leg, hold on to the right knee with your right hand and open out to the right. So this is where it comes in handy. You want that heel pressing out, not tucked in, because that's gonna throw you off balance. So keeping that right foot right underneath the knee, super important. Hold there, and I'll give you a challenge. Gently look away from the screen and look all the way to the left. If you fall out, just put your foot down. No big deal. Come back in when you're ready. Fall out again. You can always just keep coming back and forth. If it feels a little bit tough, you can extend left arm out. That counterbalances a little bit with your posture. So now your left side heavy, your right side heavy. And then slowly release. Everything comes back to center. Release right hand, almost done. Extend the right heel and then point the toe. 3, 2, and 1. Coming down. Shake out those legs, little wiggle, little twist, little whatever feels good here. Okay, other side. So right foot grounded, firm into the floor. Right hand waist, left hand on thigh. Come up. Remember placement of that left foot. Draw in through navel, lengthen up through torso. Tallest, lengthening up. Reaching the top of your head like you're being extended up towards the sky. Find your sense of balance. Keep drawing in through core so that belly button pulls in tight. And then taking left hand to left knee, gently opening out to the side. Again, that left foot right underneath the knee. So if you have it tucked in, it's going to be harder for you to find balance. Keeping it flexed and away will be easier. Keep your shoulders square. Find your sense of balance. If you fall out, it's fine. You get to fall out, get back in. And then lastly, if you wish, go ahead and extend your gaze towards the right. This changes things a little bit because you're moving your drishti, you're moving your eye focus, which means you got to recenter and focus it somewhere else. I'm lucky, I got my beautiful flowers to use my drishti on. And then lastly, to make it a little bit more balanced or even, you can extend right arm, keep reaching up through top of head. If you don't like the arm extension, you can just bring that back to your waist, no big deal. And then exhale, everything's gonna come back into center, all together. Find your center line, see if you can stay balanced. Hands to the waist, extend left heel, point the toe, hold it, 3, 2, lift up through chest, don't give up. 1, slowly come down. Good job, shake it out, wiggle it out, let it go. Hips are doing good. Okay, one more balancing posture, then we're gonna come down to the floor. So we're gonna do our standing bow. Trying to figure out which best way to show you. Let's start with the right leg. So bringing left heel on the mat, left foot on the mat is strong and balanced. And you can start by just lifting the toe off and seeing, can I stay balanced here? I feel good. Awesome, you can stay there. We're gonna take right arm down so that the palm is facing away from us, right? The inside of the elbow is facing away. And as we bend the right foot, we're gonna try to reach for the heel on the inside of the leg. So if you're doing the opposite, say you grab the outside of your ankle, your palm is now facing towards your body, you can kind of walk your fingers around to the outside, inside of your foot, and then find your grip there. So this is important for opening through the shoulder, knees stay together, draw in through navel, lift up through rib cage, extend left arm. So here we are. This is our setup. This might be where you want to stay. You want to move forward, start to kick, right leg away from your body. As you kick, you draw the chest forward, but keep extending up. Keep that left arm engaged. Don't let it drop down. Keep it lifted. Ooh, that changed a lot. Keep it lifted. Point your toe. Keep extending. Lengthening, lengthening. Kicking up. Keep kicking. Don't stop kicking. And then exhale, slowly come back. So you don't have to find like you're going perfectly parallel to the floor. You just have to find your deepest extension and length forward. Good. We do the other side. Left arm down. Palm facing up, away from the body. Bend into that left leg. Reach around, grab the inside of your heel or ankle. Draw in through navel. Right arm up. Gaze forward, find your drishti. Lengthen through fingertips. When you're ready, start to kick. The kick is the driving force of this posture. You don't start by leaning in, you start by kicking. The more you kick, the more leaning it kind of comes automatic. So the leaning comes as you kick. Keep kicking. Extend, extend, extend. Reach, 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 reach. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Kick, 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 kick. Draw that left shoulder back. Now at this point, you might be able to reach forward with fingertips as you continue to kick. Hold at your maximum. Breathe easy. And slowly come back out. Same way you went in. Release back arm. Take a few breaths. Surrender here. You can close your eyes if that feels good. And then we walk forward to top of our mats. Toes and heels come together. Rising. Inhale, arms coming up. Look up towards thumbs. Exhale, forward fold. Hinging from hips, hands to the forehead, relaxing. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, bend the knees. And step or walk your feet back. High plank. From here, chaturanga. From here, upward facing. Looking up, opening heart. Make sure that your chest is moving through the body. Shoulders rolling back, gazing up. And exhale, downward facing. Let's hold this one, 5 breaths. Dina, move out the way, my love. Siéntate. Siéntate. Good girl. And breathe here. Keep extending fingertips towards tailbone, tailbones towards heels. And then slowly bring the knees down, coming to the floor, back into your balasana. So rest the hips back. You can reach the arms forward, or you can bring the hands by your feet. Forehead comes to the floor. Rest easy. You want to move a little bit into your head, giving your third eye a little bit of a massage. Awakening. And then slowly roll yourself up, coming into hero's pose. All right, we're going to go into our pigeon pose next. So I have my bolster here, but you can use a block or a rolled up towel or a blanket, whatever you have to kind of get yourself set up. So, and I'm also going to move this sweet little bug. Sorry, big guy. I know. I just don't want to crush him when I come forward. There you go. Sorry. Okay. All right, so have it on the left side. We're going to do the left side first. So bringing your weight forward, taking left knee to the left wrist, and then we want to slide that left foot high, close to the right wrist. But if you have any knee or hip injuries, you can keep that left foot down a little bit. Mine doesn't go very high up, but I still try to move it up as long as it doesn't hurt, then you are welcome to adjust it. And then right knee kind of slides back, and then you're going to use your bolster, your block, or your pillow, whatever, underneath your left hip. So 2 things. Don't dump your weight onto that bolster. Just because it's there doesn't mean you're going to be like, yeah, I'm going to hang out here all day. Keep your weight equal on left and right side hips. So this prop is only here to help supply you with support. Because in the true posture, this hip is down on the floor. So the floor is propping you up. It's giving you support. Because of a lack of flexibility and the floor isn't there to give us support, we use the bolster as a replacement to keep us lifted. But we don't dump our weight onto it. From here, we draw the elbows down, and we find a nice lengthened spine. You're welcome to stay here, or if you wish, you can kind of stack your fists, make a pillow for your head, or maybe if you don't need the pillow for your head, you can extend the arms forward and bring forehead to the floor. So be sure to keep the right side just as engaged as the left side. So imagine this left thigh rotating outward, away from your body, and then that right hip moving down, forward, towards the floor. So kind of keep working with that idea in mind. It's possible you may come off the prop, and if you do, it's okay, as long as you don't feel any pain and as long as you feel balanced on both left and right side. So we're going to hold here for a few breaths. As we breathe, you can practice your Ujjayi breath, breath with sound. One more exhale. Inhale, walk the hands in. underneath your shoulders, lifting up through chest. Take your right hand a little closer to the center. So instead of having right and left, right hand right in the middle, and turn your body away towards your left leg. Now reach back, maybe right hand comes to the thigh, or if you can, bend your right leg and see if you can grab your foot. A little bit of deep stretch into the quad. So if it's too much, don't worry about it. Keep that leg extended. Look over left shoulder, point through toes. Find your stretch. And then exhale, release. Do the same thing on the other side. So switch, left hand comes down. Rotate torso, reach around. Again, if that's too much, just take right hand to thigh. Otherwise, reach, find your foot. See if you can kind of pull the foot in towards the body, stretching to the right quad. And then exhale, slowly release. Both hands to floor, tuck back toe under. Straighten right leg and slide that left leg back. Come to your downward facing. We're gonna move the prop in a moment, but for now, just stretch through the leg. Deep breath in, slow breath out. All right, take your prop, slide it to the right side so that it's in place for when you come forward. Bring the knees down to the floor. Right knee comes to the back of the right wrist. And again, that left foot slides up, high up as you can get it. Set yourself in, start to slide that left leg away, and then adjust your prop underneath your right hip. You may find that you don't need it on one side. You may find that your right hip comes to the floor. If it does, move the prop away, no biggie. You're welcome to stay here or bring the elbows down. Remembering to keep equal pressure on right and left side so you're not dumping your weight to the right and you're not dumping your weight to the left. Just nice and even. From here, stacking your fists to make a pillow, or extending your arms and bringing forehead to the floor. Wherever you are, it's exactly where you're meant to be, so allow yourself to soften into it. You can use your elbows to help prop you up as well, or if you want a little bit more challenge, extend your arms and let more of your legs and hips do the work. The breath is steady and rhythmic and relaxed, never forced. Few more breaths here. And every next exhale, sliding the hands in towards the body, pressing your weight up, coming back to a lifted chest. So we're gonna rotate left hand to the inside a little bit so that it's balanced. Reach around, see if you can bring right hand to left thigh, and then maybe bending into the knee, finding your foot, and stretching through that left quad as you rotate torso. Left hip down, right hip down. Exhale, slowly release. Right hand replaces left. Turn the other way. Again, left hand to thigh for rotation or bending into left knee. Sliding that foot in towards the body, pulling it in towards your body. You don't want to go to the point of pain ever, you guys. You know this well. But sometimes we get a little overzealous. Sometimes our ego gets in our way and we want to do something that isn't quite right for our bodies yet. So please practice mindfully. Practice with compassion and love. And then exhale, slowly release. Both hands on the floor, left toe tucks under. Straighten left leg and slide that right foot back. Back to your downward facing dog. Take a few moments, sway the hips. Bend and straighten or walk out the legs. Going for an easy twist here before we come to our Shavasana. So left hand is going to stay glued onto the floor. That shoulder stays engaged. Chest still pulls through. Right hand reaches around, grabs the left ankle. Pull your body through. Look out from underneath left armpit. If you find that you're not even close, your head is kind of tucked back, it's okay. The more you can pull, the better. Nice strong right arm. And then exhale, release. Back to center. Take a moment, notice the two sides, how they feel different. And then do right side. So right hand down, left arm pulls through. Rotate through body. Lengthen here. Gaze up from underneath right armpit. Strong hips squared, heels down. Strong right arm presses into floor. And exhale, release back to center. Look forward, bring knees down. Cross the feet behind you. And then go ahead and sit all the way back onto your tush. You can move your prop out of the way. Lay all the way down to your shavasana. I'll turn this way. Dini seems to be finding stuff to look out for over there. Once you're down on the mat, relax here for a moment or two. You can keep your knees bent, your hands at your navel or belly. Bring the knees into the chest. Roll around a couple times. Give your lower back a little massage. We're going to work our way into our shavasana. So arms down by your side. Knees tuck into chest, squeeze your body, and point through your toes. Kind of like you're hugging your knees in with your hip flexors and with your abdomen and with your thighs, using all those muscles to squeeze it. And then slowly inhale, lift the feet, coming into like an L shape, kind of like Dandasana position, but on our back. Shoulders roll back. Flex through the feet, engage the core, and we're going to start to lower both legs down to the floor. Very, very, very slow. So I really want you to start to feel all the little muscles that create engagement, enough for you to keep the legs moving at this pace, down, down, down towards the earth. Don't arch into your spine. So if you start to feel arching, press your belly in. Hollow out your abdomen as you press your back into the floor. Keep your head and shoulders on the mat, engaging into the core. You're still not down to the floor, still working. Lengthen through legs, draw in through navel, and finally heels come down. Once the heels come down, you can release the legs into your shavasana, so toes flop out. Legs kind of open out, so you feel it in your hips, kind of just releasing out to the sides. Palms facing up. Fingers just gently curl into hands. Close the eyes. Let the breath move steady, even though it might be a little bit labored after that abdominal work, maybe. If it is, start to slow down the pace and the rhythm of your breath, equalizing, calming. Relax your tongue, like to place the tip of your tongue through your mouth. Continue to breathe your ujjayi breath, or your natural rhythm of breath. Conscious effort to relax and release tightness, soften through the muscles, the ligaments, the tendons, the joints, all soften. Conscious effort to relax the mind. We're always in such a hurry to go places, to do things, to make things happen. See if you can practice non-doing right now. Being completely present, surrendering to this moment, letting everything else simply float away. Next exhale breath. Begin to bring awareness back into the body by adding a little bit of movement to the fingers and toes. A slowly gentle reawakening of the body. Let the movement spread to the hands and feet, wrists and elbows, ankles and knees. Relax into your body, readjust your tailbone if it feels like a little pressure, and maybe just sway the knees side to side, kind of windshield wiping the legs. When you're ready, roll all the way onto your side. You can use your bottom arm as a pillow. Just resting here for a breath or two. And then slowly pressing up into a seated position. As you come into your seated posture, cross your feet into Sukhasana, your comfortable cross-legged position. Rearrange and sit comfortably, hands on knees. We'll just seal our practice today with one sound and then a gentle prayer I like to close my practices with at times. So as we exhale, draw the palms together at center of heart. Inhale for Om. May we feel protected and safe. May we feel contented and pleased. May our physical bodies support us with health and with strength. And may our lives unfold smoothly with ease. Namaste.